All right, we're
Type it in
going
and then
to
send
call
it
to
out.
order, right?
At 5:07?
507,
7:07
Something, jeez.
on May 11th, 2023, for the Historical Commission, Newbury. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let's review our minutes.
So this is all in here? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is for the person who isn't here.
Oh, okay, this is. I have one of those 8.5 buttons here. I see.
Can I get an A?
Make just simple corrections, like an S here.
If you have to make a correction, you make a correction. That's why we're reviewing them. Oh. Sorry, this little one. I tried not to. There's an awful lot of stuff I had to squeeze in there.
Yeah. I don't see anything wrong, but I know Ellen did. A little scribble.
Looks good.
And why do I send these out?
I look at them quickly on my phone, and then I wait for the ones that you print.
And I wait for the meeting because everybody else waits for the meeting.
Yeah, exactly. I want to justify the fact that you print them and honor that.
Well, I don't have to waste the paper if you guys are gonna read them online.
We all should have tablets. Yeah. And I'll feel like kids. He's being thorough.
Oh, he's got X on him now.
Was I supposed to give you that book?
Yeah, you,
Or
Two
just
meetings.
copy the 31 pages?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
2 meetings now, you were gonna give him the book.
No, he sent it to me. He emailed me scans of the pages, yeah.
Can't help it, I just love it.
right, well, that's
One of
right.
the things
This
that's
is why the
interesting-
meeting lasted so long last time, huh?
Yeah, it was a big one.
One of the things that's different in the book that he just sent me from Coffin and Courier is the book he just sent me says it was 1,060 acres, the original Dummer grant. And it was like 600 and something acres in Currier and Coffin.
Wow,
Yeah.
was wrong on both of them?
I'm
Or-
assuming that
or
it
who
was
knows?
wrong in the one, in the 1854 one that you sent me.
Well, we can, pull the proprietor's books out.
I'm sure we could.
Oh. Big old leather bound. It's probably scanned.
Ooh,
Probably is.
because it's probably, yeah.
This is wicked. Absolutely wicked. It's like you touch it, it's like touching the Holy Grail.
Right.
This thing is so
But
old.
I can't imagine a guy and his 2 sons were going to farm 1,000 acres. You know,
I mean-
with a horse.
No. But that's what they kind of did back in the day, though, right? Everything was always just, imagine like out west.
Yeah.
1,000 acres would be nothing out west, but
Yeah,
Sorry.
a crew.
sure, sure. Oh, is there any changes to the,
Got a question
Sure.
on unfinished business,
Yeah.
bottom first page.
Yeah.
Schoolhouse Roof Channing will create a list. And what is that, the list of vendors or the
Yes.
list of the types
And
of?
hopefully have samples, yeah.
Okay, so it's not a list of vendors.
It's a list of options.
the kinds
Yeah.
of roof we could put out.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
And vendors kind of goes with the,
And maybe vendors along with that,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. And then what, the last comment, milk cut shingles, what does that refer to?
He said they're going to look like.
They'll
They
real
look
will look
height.
like mill-cut shingles.
Shingles.
They're going to be made out of composite material. They won't be wood.
Potentially, okay.
That's why we're talking about synthetic roof materials.
Okay, so, but does those 3 words convey that? That's what I'm questioning.
Do they convey what? I'm sorry.
What you're
What-
talking
what
about
do
is the
they
way they
convey?
look.
Huh?
Yeah, it's
That's
not,
exactly what he said. They're going to be mill-cut shingles, so I wrote it down.
they're going to look like mill-cut
Okay,
shingles.
so we're missing, that they will be
Yeah, there's
mill-cut
no verb in that
shingles.
sentence.
I just didn't know what it, yeah,
I
Okay?
hear you.
okay.
How would you like me to phrase it? Seriously, these are all serious questions.
They will have the appearance of mill-cut shingles.
I like that.
There you
That's
go.
good.
And then just an S up here, not that that matters.
Well, it does matter if it's incorrect. Yeah.
And I think that's the only other hint.
Rich, did you miss an S?
Yeah,
I
that's
think I
it.
did.
I'm shocked.
uh-oh.
What did he just say? We'll have the appearance? Is that what we
Yeah.
decided on?
Of milk cut shingles. Is that it?
Yeah, that's all I'm
You got it?
Would we, all right, and then who would like to make a motion to accept the changes to the minutes? Lon would like to do that. Second?
Second?
Fabulous.
Vote?
Oh, is that what we do?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm the worst.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
I need to like write a little
You'll
cute
get the
card.
hang of
I
it.
know, I just don't do it enough. Okay, treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report, like I said, I've got some numbers here, but I didn't get home in time to type them into it. This was a draft that I'd completed. But I got the Newbury Town flag, and I bought the new U.S. flag. That
Fabulous.
comes to $112.42, and and then so going to the accounts over here for our general account. The porta potty was put up beginning of May, and given the start date and when we're going to pull it out, we'll have a total for the fiscal year of $1,087.36. So we had an effective balance of $712.64 left. I bought the flags, and now we have $600.22 to spend, that we can spend up until the end of June. And then nothing has changed on the gifts and donations. We haven't bought anything with that, and the special gift fund is the same. And so, in effect, we have, and this is going to be on the order of, we have on the order of about $5,800 left total in the 3 accounts. I didn't.
Do we need anything for like you know, this summer or anything? You know, are we low on anything?
Well, I haven't looked at printing yet,
Yeah.
what things we're gonna be short of. I figured, I usually do that when we go and clean
Yeah,
the place
and
up.
that's on the agenda too.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
and we
but-
did mention maybe get a power washer for the back of the schoolhouse.
Not bad.
Where's the water gonna come from?
I'll talk to Jerry. I'll bring
Oh, so
200 feet of hose, but I'm sure he'll let us use his water.
It's not like we're doing the whole schoolhouse, it's really just the back wall.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one. You can always just bring mine over.
But you need water.
Right.
That's the only problem.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I see.
I mean,
what you mean.
I have a power
bring
washer.
it, bring it.
I can bring it over. If
And
we just,
I'll bring
you
the
bring
hose,
over the
'cause
hose.
it's easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we want to
Whenever
just,
we
if
have
we
the
want to save
cleanup.
$100, because let's go for about $150.
Yeah,
You only need it for a day.
yeah, an hour probably.
And I do love power washing.
And I can bring the
Great.
ladder too.
Okay,
It's just across the street, so.
that would be easy. Awesome.
We'd have to set up a date for that. That's probably on the agenda.
Yes,
So I move
thank you.
that we accept the financial report as presented.
As presented, correct.
Fabulous. I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I will finish this when I get
Jan, did you abstain?
back, and I'll send
Oh,
it
aye.
to Jan,
Sorry, I'm
email it
writing,
to,
yeah.
I'll email it to everybody.
I'm thinking that,
As long as Jen gets it, we're all good. All right, my website report, everything's pretty much moving along. Lon, I know you probably didn't remember to give me a disc of the image. Can I come by the house and get it from you?
What?
can you not get that off the,
Well, I want the one that he printed, so I want that one
Which image?
to use.
the one that's on the back of the map?
Yeah,
The map?
yeah, but like, so I want his image, so I just want him to like give it to me so I can use it and
Okay,
like,
because,
Oh,
I don't want to scan the ad, I just like want what he
no,
has.
it's
You
on
want
the
the
town
digital version.
website,
Yeah,
on our page of the town website, the whole map, the whole guide.
You can download it off the
I guess I could
website.
just download it off there. I guess I was just trying to pull like originals from everything
Yeah,
versus
well,
like
that-
pulling it off of that. Yeah, I guess I could do
I mean,
that.
that's where it
Look-
came
look-
from.
Take a look at it and see.
Double
how-
check, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make
The
sure
resolution.
it
Yeah,
was,
see if it works, and if not,
Yeah, I've got, of
Just
course.
bang
I'm sure you've got a disc of it. All right, that's all.
Bang.
Well, it's just a file. I'll just email you the file. It's just a
Right.
PDF.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, let's see.
But if you can get it off, well, okay.
Yeah.
You'll have two then. You can compare them and whichever has the highest.
I just want to make, yeah, I
resolution.
just want to make sure it's like the best versus me
Yeah.
pulling things sometimes because when you do that, it's like pixelated and it's not always the best. I don't know if I'm just not doing it right, but
No.
I like
think that-
originals. You know what I mean?
Well, because it depends on what people did to them.
That's what I mean, it's
If
like
got
sometimes it
dropped
doesn't
in
Scanning
bit of this-
resolution and, yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not always the best, and if I can get the
When I try to
originals.
scan anything like that, like a picture or something, I try to, you know, it asks, I give it the highest,
Yeah.
whatever it is, DPI or something.
I think sometimes also just the computers like change it when you're doing it, and then you pull it down, it's just wrong. So that's my whole thing. I want clean perfectness. Anyways,
And are you going to, do that and then send it to me?
Yes.
What,
Minutes?
I'll send it to everybody.
Right up, yeah.
I'll just send it to everybody.
Okay. Let me just catch up here.
I can't stop eating this, I have to put the cover on.
And I got a little bit nicer US flag this time, a little sturdier,
Awesome.
because this thing literally is
They don't last long, it's
shred.
amazing.
Yeah.
shredded.
Well, I mean, it's out 24/7.
Yeah. Oh,
and-
and for 3 years,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
right?
I mean, I'd be a little shredded too. Okay, so that's, all right, so website.
Moving on.
Is that all you have on the website?
Yeah,
Or is
I mean,
that-
it's,
I mean,
I
just,
plug along for
I
like
don't
an
wanna,
hour or
like,
two, and then
skip
I
by
forget about it for another week, and then I move
And
on.
I do have a question about, what kind of format do you want the,
Your stuff?
yeah,
Just, you know, text mostly, and then whatever, if you have images, just like add them on, because I'm just gonna kind of give you your own page.
Are you gonna like, do like pre-press on it, that kind of thing? Are you gonna place the images in the right places
I'm
and
gonna
all that stuff?
try
Oh, okay.
to, unless
So,
you have like
I
direction.
can't give it to you as a PDF then, because you wouldn't be able to do that. Right now, it's an Apple Pages document, which I'm gonna have to transfer to a Word document so
Yeah.
that you can work with it.
I guess that makes sense, because I don't have Apple.
Yeah.
So that might be
Yeah.
problematic.
You need a Word, because you can't insert a picture in a PDF file.
No, you can't change a PDF file, that's the whole point of the
Well,
PDF file.
yeah.
It depends on
If you have
software,
Pro.
though.
If you have,
Yeah.
if you have the good
If you have
software.
Pro,
Because
And I don't.
like when I worked at town hall, they have a different grade of it.
Yeah.
Then mine doesn't, I can't proof thing, do
Yeah.
stuff with it or anything, because I'm not
I,
paying for it.
when I was working, I had Pro at work, and you could do that, but you
Yeah.
can't do it. with-
Yeah, because like this is mostly like I'm copying stuff and then putting it into kind of like a form on the website
Yeah.
and then kind of, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
there's lots of copy and pasting.
Mhm.
So if I can copy, then I, in theory, could probably do it.
Okay.
So I'll let you know when that happens. The Mac, non-Mac thing's always a fun challenge. But
Yeah, I'm gonna go out by Word.
I know, right? I need to get a whole new laptop myself because my son's constantly online.
Get a Mac.
People keep saying that to me, and I haven't been able to like do it. Like,
I'm not a
it's
Mac, I don't have an Apple phone, I'm not a
Yeah,
Mac
me neither.
person.
I'm like a Samsung
It's-
girl.
It's like, you're all in on one way or the other, I find with people.
Yeah.
It's like, because a lot of them, they were using them in schools. They started using the Mac, everything Mac and Apple in schools.
Yep.
So anybody that I know that has had kids in school, everything they
Yeah.
own, the whole house is all.
People
you
always
know.
say for me because I'm a creative person, like I can't believe you're not on Apple, and I'm like, it's like that's what I have.
But I
Anyways.
grew up in Word and
Yeah.
everything else because Apple didn't exist, and so that's the way of the world. It all depends on what you're used to. So those are your only.
Yeah, amen to that. Keeping it simple. Can't have to relearn everything constantly. All right,
Correspondence?
correspondence. Do we have any
Oh.
loveliness? I love correspondence.
I'm glad none of us have some.
It's nice to know that people care.
Yeah. That's correspondence. The Mass Historical Commission sent us information that the National Park Service grants. And then she also sent just today, she being Jen Doherty, they have a coordinated statewide emergency preparedness seminar training. It's a training thing that that was hosted, and she got access to it. So, and I was like, okay, why would we want that? But it's for.
What type of preparedness? Like prepping your house?
Nope, it's for, like, say if you're working at the Museum of Old Newbury.
Yeah.
And a fire breaks out or
Oh, what to
something
do in
happens.
that situation.
It's a whole lot of stuff.
Oh.
So, it's suitable to a wide set of stakeholders, essentially those responsible for cultural institutions, collections in the face of emergency. So it's something you can do online.
Do we even have a fire extinguisher? We must in the closet, right?
I
just
don't
thinking
know. I don't think so.
Let's spend some money on that.
Do we have a
That,
fire
you know what I mean?
extinguisher
Like that might be
closet?
something we.
I remember seeing one.
Well, we should see if it's
Yeah.
still
It's
viable.
probably, I would doubt it's viable. That's a good thought.
They're not expensive.
No, and like
No,
maybe
not
even
at all.
having like one or two or something,
Yeah.
just because if you have a fire in one corner and you can't get to the fire extinguisher, it's better to have
At
one.
that school, you'll have like 30 seconds.
Well, I mean that's my point.
It'll
It'll
go
go
up
up
pretty fast,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
200-year-old wood, yeah.
I don't think my training's current, I think that's a 2-year.
But that's actually a really good thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
so this,
I mean, I could maybe get there in time, but with what?
But then you.
Well, then
need
you're.
200
That's what I
for the
mean.
house.
Then you're. What do you do?
That's what I mean, so that's a great idea.
And I don't know how much those cost. No,
No.
Fire extinguishers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real cheap.
yeah, so I can forward this if anybody's interested in looking at it, and it's not, there's no cost to it, I guess.
Is it like an online thing?
There's an online component that's 10 modules that will be released beginning in July. And you can view them and complete them. So, I mean, it's up to anybody if they
Can
would.
I just?
And like a certification, like you're prepared to.
It's just like
Fight?
One more
Fight
thing.
a fire?
One more.
Resume item.
But it's
exactly.
like, all I could think of was like the schoolhouse, because
Yep.
we have documents and books that are
Of course.
very old. Or like, the Museum of Old Newbury, you know, they have entire collections in there. So because it's like, why do we need disaster preparedness at the Historical Commission? But then you start reading it, and you go,
It
oh,
makes
That
sense.
kind of
These-
disaster, yeah.
these
Yeah,
are things
makes
we
sense. That would be a
naturally
disaster.
don't think about.
Yeah,
So,
send it out.
okay.
Because, I mean, I'd like to look at some of the stuff maybe we should be doing, like fire extinguisher in the school, never even occurred to me. I
Yeah.
just seem to remember seeing one once,
Well, it could be just like buried and we just, you
Yeah,
know, and,
yeah.
but does it even work? I
yeah,
mean,
it might
you're
be,
supposed
might be
to,
in the closet.
Yeah, I have to keep
Check 'em
checking
yearly
mine. I
or
have one on the
something,
first
right?
floor, the second floor, in the basement.
In commercial buildings, they check them every month.
do they really?
Yep.
Well, they're supposed to.
Yeah. Wow, I
Check
didn't
the
realize
sign.
it's
I
every
mean,
month.
when you get on an elevator, do you look to see the certificate and when it's due to be?
Of course.
I look when I'm in public bathrooms, have one that was recently cleaned. I like that one.
No, I would much rather not
And I'm
die
always
in
like,
the
oh, that's good
elevator
to
than
know.
worry about getting a germ in the bathroom. So,
Yeah, being dropping is an awful thought. Anyways. Yeah, because it's not like we have, you know, a sprinkler system or something.
it's funny, they didn't have those in 1870
No.
that I know of. Okay, so that takes care of that, then, we've got information, more information, we just keep getting more information about, the 15 Coleman. So this came from the town, to say that, you know, we signed the agreement about the stone in that
Oh, yeah.
area. So it's been, it's been sent to the, it was sent to the,
Registry.
Registry of Deeds, and it's recorded, and they sent back a copy of the recorded document, so
Good.
that's a done deal, so that's
Fabulous.
good. One less thing to worry about.
So we now, that's kind of in our bailiwick now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we own it.
So should
Well-
we have
I
a
drive
list of
by it
things
once in a
that
while.
we gotta do, like
It looks fine.
check it once a month or see if it's
Did they ever
still
replace the
there?
wooden posts?
So they're still there.
They're still wooden posts.
Yeah. Are they
So
supposed
they
to be
really-
something different?
They really should be concrete and steel bollards, I think.
Well,
I don't know if they're gonna do
I
that.
thought
Are they
he
gonna
was
do that?
putting those there.
I thought that was what he was gonna put, but last time I went there, it was like 4x4 posts,
Yeah.
wooden posts. That won't stop a snowplow.
no.
I just saw a picture of it on Facebook because somebody was complaining about how there's houses behind it. It made me giggle. The view behind the Witch's Stone will never be the same, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Not,
But at least the Witch's Stone will.
I was
always
thinking to
be the
myself,
same.
but it's
Yeah.
been preserved. Is
See,
nobody
when I see things
recognizing
like
that?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I say, look at the bright side, at least
It's been
protected.
preserved.
Yep.
He gave that to the town.
yep,
Yeah.
We are stewards of it. It's not a preservation restriction, because we can't hold a preservation restriction for the town.
because it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's the only one thing I can come up with for that one. But, so it's called the preservate, whatever I just said
Yep.
before that.
Stewart.
Yeah, well, we're stewards of it. We're guarding it, but,
That's why I was wondering if we should have some protocols, like we check it once a month, or we check it every quarter, or we,
Well, I definitely, whenever I drive down that road, I always.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just wondering if there's anything, we should check it to see if it's being maintained, or
Yep.
is somebody gonna,
Weed
Cut the
whack it and
grass,
stuff
weed
or
whack it.
something.
people are constantly sending me emails about it.
You know, in the
And I say,
summertime,
have at
It
it.
doesn't look bad in the
I think
summertime.
it was Tony Matthews, I think, and
Yeah.
somebody else also made a comment to me once about and I went, if you would like to go weed whack it, then please feel free.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think an
right.
easy way to remember to do it is whoever has schoolhouse duty just swings by,
Yeah, because
takes
that's
a,
on
takes
my
a peek
way.
at it.
He's
says,
across the
"Yeah, it's good,"
street.
you know?
Yeah, well,
And
it's
I'm
just
on
like
the
you and me
island.
driving by. It's
Yeah.
like not convenient for them.
But
That's the only difference.
it also should just be, it needs to be mentioned to the DPW.
Yep.
And I think I did, but I will double check.
I mean, will they put that on their like routes if we did that? Because do they take care of the other markers in theory? In theory.
Somebody has been weed whacking the mile markers, because those definitely get done.
Yeah, I know the one on the
The one on
corner of
Hanover.
Green and
Yeah.
Hanover, because
yeah.
I remember, I actually sent one and said, can you guys please,
Make sure this is
Yeah.
cleared
get
out.
at that one, because it's so low.
Yeah, and I said something to
It's almost
Channing, I said, I'll
invisible.
throw my weed whacker in the
Yeah.
car, and go over there. And
Well, it's the thing,
he said,
it'll
well, it
get-
just got done.
It'll be buried if you
No.
don't take care of it,
Yeah.
because then it just disappears.
Yeah. So I think, James is good,
I'll find that post.
I think he has some kind of a list, probably, that he makes sure that this gets done this week and this gets done that week,
Okay.
because there's a lot of things scattered, when you think about it, all over town that they're responsible to take care of, so they can't just say, did we remember to do that? I mean,
Yeah.
oh, somebody called about that, oh, did you forget about that one? I'm sure they must have some kind of a schedule somewhere, because he's a pretty organized guy,
They
so.
started mowing the center of the cul-de-sac that I live on. I was like, wow.
Oh, they take care of the Nob Hill meticulously.
Oh, yeah.
And it
don't
cracks
doubt
me
that.
up, and I'm always like, this boy is taking care of that grass.
So, so
Cool.
our, big responsibility is now just to make sure that it's
Still
taken
there,
care
yeah.
of. And, so that's good, because now we know it's safe, and we did the planning board. So you all have this piece of paper, so we'll hold that off, but that's what this is. We'll talk about the planning board.
Open houses.
Historic New England is having open houses,
So that,
so I think I sent that all, but I also made 2 extra copies so that we can put them down the schoolhouse of this. So we can just, put them up so people can see what's going on, because that's a big deal, because they're free.
yeah.
And
so
if you
they'll
haven't
get
been
full.
in them, you should go. Because sometimes when you live somewhere, you don't do it, you don't see
Yeah.
anything of in your own town, and then,
Yeah, I've never been in the coffin house.
yeah, it's awesome. Absolutely
So we'll be, oh,
awesome.
this is good. So we'll be open. I wonder if we should open up a little earlier or that day.
Well, we can discuss that later, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, then you could put a sign on saying, take a look at, while you're at the Dole Little House,
Yep.
take a look at the schoolhouse.
Yep.
It's open from 11 to 3 too.
so,
I'd be willing to do it early. Fine.
actually, we have to discuss it now, because I just thought of it, because that's before we'll have our next meeting, so. All right, so the June 3rd, New England, Historic New England. Okay. So those are the dates.
Do, do,
It's from
do.
11 till 3. That's for the Dole Little ones.
Yeah.
Are they all 11 to 3?
Keep that one. No, they're not. Sweat Isley is 11 to 2.
So, but should we be open from 11 to 3? I mean,
Why don't I take it
Start,
from
you know what I
11 to
mean?
1?
And then somebody else
Somebody
comes?
else can take it on the normal time. Let me check this before I go ahead and throw my hand up.
so,
Because we're usually only there till what, 3?
Yeah,
Well, because we changed the hours. It used to be different when I first started.
Ah.
really?
June 3rd, I've got nothing, so.
It was like 2 to 4. I think. And we changed it to 1 to 3, because it's like,
So Lon is 11 to 1.
okay, so that would be good.
And somebody else can take 1 to 3.
What's the date on that?
3rd
It's
of
the
June,
3rd.
Saturday. So we'll have this at our place, and we should say, at the Dole Little House, we should have a little thing that says, if they want to come up to the schoolhouse, it'll be open too.
Well, we can put our sign out, because
Oh, okay, just do that.
Will this be on?
the
some
Joe
sort of-
Little House is, before us, and,
Yeah.
or else we can just, you can let them know in the
I'll just
next
let 'em know.
meeting.
Yeah.
You have 2 reps for the Historic New England at the meeting.
Oh, right, you're okay, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
because there's a lot of funky things that go on that we don't,
Have we just, all right, I was gonna
Have
say,
we what?
decided on when we're gonna clean? No,
no.
that's later.
Well, we're trying to get through the emails. first,
Sorry.
so. I know, there's a lot of gobbledygook.
Well, calendar's open. Good.
Okay, so somebody sent me an email that asked how old a house has to be in order to have a circle plaque put on your house.
As old as
So
you want.
I didn't think there was
I don't think there's
a
a rule.
rule. So I sent it to Channing, and he said, we don't care.
Yeah.
If-
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I told
Put a
him.
plaque on your-
1997, slap one up there.
Put a plaque in your house, 2023, you know? Okay.
So, and they also, they informed me at that meeting, his last meeting for the Lower Green, that the house on Hanover, the Atkinson house.
Yes, yeah.
Is not the age that it said on the plaque, and that's why it's off the fence.
Really?
Because they went through
Oh.
and looked at stuff, so we should really have her come in someday and talk to us.
Oh, because she
On-
realized that it just
No.
was wrong, so they took
They
it off.
went in and
took
they
the
looked at the
plaque
post, because the homeowner didn't think so, and whatever, so I think that, I was thinking when I was reading these things and looking for signs, because we've gone through this for years now about the signs, and if they say circa, it's not like,
It's vague.
Yeah, circa means around.
Yeah.
yeah, so if we can, I wanted to see if we could maybe get them to change that sign and just put a circa on it,
To CA dot.
See,
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that we can have that, because that was like that sign's been up for a long time,
Yeah.
so things like that come up. So I told him we do not have a,
Limit, or a
we don't
an
have
age
a,
range
we don't
or
have a
anything.
policy
Yeah.
going, we don't have anything we have not started a thing to
We
to
encourage
do.
people though to put flags on their homes,
So-
is what I
Says
would
so
say.
right here.
Yeah.
And we've got two things to select from. We've got a regular one with just the dates.
And
Yeah.
then you
And
get
if
the
you've got
spinning wheel.
text,
Yeah.
you've got the other shape for the text.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
We got I got 2 emails from 26 High Road, and I was like, where is 26 High Road? Because your brain says it should be right across from Town Hall, which is
Yeah.
where the gas station is, but
Yeah.
it's like 2 houses up, it's
Ah.
just odd.
Okay.
But
So
that,
towards,
but the house is built in 1992, so I'm like, well, she said,
what's the issue?
we know it's within a historic district, and if that's correct, she's confirming it, what do we have to do in order to get a permit to work on it? So I asked her what they were doing, and she said they are replacing windows and in kind, and a couple of other things, like there's a couple of shingles or something, so I said, we have no.
Oh, go for it.
Thought it was built in 92.
I just
Yeah,
approved it,
go
but
for
it's
it.
How did they build a
because,
house in 92 down there?
because there was,
Maybe they pulled something down.
no, I
Yeah.
think there was a lot.
Just
I don't
empty?
know, who was, nobody was here as long as I
Yeah.
have. Eva,
Yeah.
but next to the gas station, if you're
Yeah.
going towards Newburyport,
Yeah.
there was like a little, like, space and all kinds of bushes, and there was like a little farmer's market thing there.
Oh.
That's not the word I want, but you know what I'm saying?
Like a farm stand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
stand. And then there was a lot next to it, I think. And then there's the house that's next to the church.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's that space that was there, so they
Oh,
built
they
this.
built a house in
Built
there.
a house
Okay.
in there, so, because I go out on the town assessors and, get the pictures and try to figure out exact, then I Googled where the spot was, and I'm like, oh, I know where it is now, because it's set way back, it's not like on the street
Yeah.
either, so they're happy, so she's fine, she filled out the form for us and all of that, so that's all.
The only way we would
Good.
have anything would be a demolition delay, but they're not gonna really destroy anything.
We
No.
don't,
Replacing
92.
windows,
Yeah,
and
it's-
and we would have, with that date, we'd have said, no
it
problem.
doesn't matter.
So, we're all good on that one. I'm just ticking these instead of writing too much. Oh, I sent an email to Robin. Is Robin away? Do you know?
No, I think so.
Okay, well, I sent him an email last Sunday, hasn't answered me. And then I left him a message yesterday.
I was there Sunday, because we were fixing something for the window, the
'Cause-
barn window.
He had said something about solar panels on historic homes in the last meeting that you guys had, and I was hoping he could send it, but he didn't get back to me, and I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Where it came from or anything.
No.
So if you can
Ask about that.
touch base on that, that would be helpful.
We got something, we got an email from something, Historic New England or somebody on solar panels on on antique houses. Was this it? It seems like there was more material.
Oh, no, that solar thing there is the 15 Coleman Road.
Yeah.
And he sent little aerial photos. But I turned this over to the planning because they have the restriction, they hold the restriction, we don't. So this is, they wanted to put the solar on the barn there and all that, so it's on them now.
Okay.
And
The thing I was
unfortunately, I
thinking
had
of
missed
was
this
like a
email, I have
pamphlet.
no idea, he responded.
What is this
Oh,
state of
And I missed it,
Massachusetts?
probably because
Massachusetts
it's so many of them, I missed it.
think about putting solar panels in.
There's tons of stuff.
And it
So
was
I
in- it was in an
handed,
email.
I handed you out a whole bunch of things on, that I got responses from people on the HIS, not a whole bunch, but I did give you some stuff on solar. And I asked Jen Doherty about it, and that's what this, the Secretary of the Interior
This
is.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, so I printed this stuff out, because I know we want to come up with like a general
Guideline,
comment,
yeah.
so if it comes up. So I figured if everybody has it, they can read it, figure out, oh yeah, that, because there is a Massachusetts general law about it, that, it's all about energy saving versus the look of it. And most everybody says the same thing.
Yeah, hide them whenever
If you can-
possible.
Yeah, if you can keep them out of the front of the house or the view of the house. And I pulled this off the Salem Historical Commission's guidebook. And I was so embarrassed at how wonderful their website was. So, of the information, the town website.
Really?
I was like, so.
Avoid the side facing the street.
Let's check
So
it
you
out.
guys want to, if everybody looks at it and maybe jots down notes or circles passages or says,
Yeah.
this is what I
Finds
think is a
the
good idea.
The good spots.
Then at another meeting, we can try to,
Yeah, so we've got a
hash through.
stance or some statement that
Yeah.
we could refer people to. when
Right,
they
so
come
we
and
can
say-
hash it out and keep, people jot down some notes about things
Not
that,
recommended. What does this remind you?
Yeah. It does, the mansard, yeah. Right across the street.
Yeah, the second I look at it, I'm like,
so that would be
I couldn't believe
helpful.
when they built that house there.
Okay.
I
was like,
know.
This was a great piece of property, and
they must have needed money. I can't imagine why they would have sold that chunk out right next to behind there.
and then the mansard was for sale for what, 5 years?
Yeah, and I think they got it for a really good deal because they bought it right before we bought our house.
Is this the Yazair area at the house?
No, this
No,
is
the one right across from
further
me.
down,
Or- Oh,
Yeah.
went next to her.
so.
Yeah, they sold that too,
Yeah,
Mrs. Yacer's house.
yeah. Nice lady.
Never- I know KV and
She
his
did a
wife.
lot of work in
Kelly.
the historical commission.
Oh, did she?
and-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was on 375th and
Which house was that?
I don't.
So that is the house,
I-
almost up to Courtney Drive, almost up to where I live. Big white house on the right, and they've got a pool with a big like pool house.
Oh,
next
the
to
one
it.
they just put like the really big pool house or whatever they
No,
built
no,
in.
that's, you think of the yellow house, the horse property. This is
Yeah, isn't-
further
I
up
think
towards
that-
West
I
Newbury.
think that's his kid actually.
It's his kids?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lon, didn't your daughter put the pool in next to where they're building that new plot
the new-
on,
Yeah,
um,
on,
She put a pool
On
in
Main
there,
Street.
you mean where they're putting that development in?
yeah, isn't that
except
your
it just
daughter's?
went bust.
is
Yeah,
that your
that's
daughter's
right.
house?
Yeah.
I was wondering why nobody had started doing anything in there. It fell through? That
Well, they're
development?
selling the lots now.
No one's bought a lot yet?
I wouldn't buy a lot back there, there's no road.
Yeah, I know.
Who's gonna put the road?
They just kind of like tore everything down and
Well,
then that's been it.
the price, I think, everything got all torn up, everything got knocked
Yeah.
down, the wetlands are trashed, and it got too expensive to develop.
That's too bad. Because your daughter's property looks so good and then there's like a big scar next to it.
Yeah, it's just a mess next door now.
So, all right, so not her house.
Not her house. So down past Hickory Lane,
Yeah,
as you're going towards West Newbury, it's on the right.
Yep.
Before you get to Moulton.
yep.
Um,
Yeah, so big white house.
Big
It's
white
got
house.
like
It's got a-
big
It's
trees
got a
and then
big
a
barn
pool.
in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so That's Katie Yasser's house.
Okay.
And his grandmother had a house in behind. That's a 97-acre property.
Isn't that where they're also putting solar kind of
Yeah.
like way
That's
back
way in
there?
The solar panels are in there.
Yeah.
We fought
Gotcha.
that for 5 years.
Gotcha.
Well, guess who's
That was
downstream of all that extra runoff?
Yeah,
The Goddard.
and me too.
And their whole back area there, it's just completely flooded back in there.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
And
And
the
nobody
Beaver
who
put a
was on-
dam in to stop everything else off.
Nobody who was on the planning board at the time is still there.
Isn't that always how it is?
Yeah.
Honestly.
But anyway,
Oh, interesting.
and they, National Grid wouldn't let them hook up.
Really?
Yeah, because they had inadequate maintenance access or emergency access or something. And National Grid said, you can't hook it into the grid.
Oh, I remember reading that, yeah.
So what do they do with the power then?
I don't know. What do they do with the 17 acres of trees they clear cut?
You know?
No.
It should be.
That's what I'm saying, that, can you imagine that, the amount of water
Oh, yeah.
that the trees used to take up and
Yep.
put into the atmosphere?
Believe
And
me.
now it just stays on the ground and runs down.
I got an 80-page document that describes the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. We fought that and fought it and fought it.
But I got a kick out of is some of the early drawings.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me to take a look at them, and I looked at them, and they showed the flow of water, how it was gonna clear this one area, and I looked, and it was flowing uphill.
Ah, there you go.
The arrow was pointed uphill.
Yeah.
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 Good luck with that.
Look, the water,
Where are we now?
Visual. I
Yes.
guess, Visual. Okay, so then the only other mail item is Ruth is there.
Yeah.
Her daughter had called, I mentioned this before, that she had said, did you want the stuff from my mother's? And I said, yes.
Mhm.
So $10, she mailed it $10. It's the whole 375th, the images from the past. That's the, what we couldn't remember. That's the book. So it's all notes and how much it costs and all the printing costs and the whole 9 yards. So I figured there was no reason to bring it in tonight. But at some point I want to go through it because we're going to have to start
Prepping.
prepping
Right.
for the next one. So I figured it would give us a
A template, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so, you know, they did this, they did that to get this thing done,
Great
and
idea.
how much money they made on the book, how much it cost to print, you know, these
Yep.
things, so, and who helped, so it was interesting. So it was very nice for her to ask us instead of tossing it,
No, please.
you know, so, you know, I'm big on not tossing things.
Thank you. She sent it to the right person.
I know, really, it's that pathetic. And then, oh, the last thing was Nancy Thurlow had sent, because Fred doesn't really email, he has Nancy. Nancy's his secretary. So he was looking, I don't know why, but he was pondering why this first, Settler's First landing place is on the end of Cottage Road.
Mm.
And because it never seemed to make any
yeah,
sense.
because
Doesn't. So I talked to him last night. He's so funny. So he read Coffin and he read Courier,
Mhm.
and then he said, and that you're stupid. That woman, and the only woman I know that's doing these books has got to be Eville Smith. So.
yeah, that must be that woman.
That woman, so, because I mean, there weren't a whole lot of female writers doing history of Newbury, so it's, yeah.
You want me to look that up?
So he told me that one quote,
It said,
One
I
quote-
just read it recently, and it said that it was close to the area where the current bridge is.
Yeah.
well,
Well, the
it
current
was-
bridge in 1854.
Yes,
So-
because that's, okay, so he said it was 100 rods east of the old bridge.
Yep.
Which was east of the current bridge.
So in theory,
It's the launching ramp at the boat, for
yeah,
the boat.
that's what I was gonna say.
And then we were talking about Marston's Pond, which is right next to the Joe Little house there. If you go in with a boat, with the parking.
Is that where there's always like an egret trying to hunt for fish?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there's a little pond there, but it used to be a full stream, which they
Put the
closed
road,
off.
they like, yeah.
No, it used to go right into the river, but they made like a little pond there
Yep.
at some point. So, he said it's on page 15 of Coffin's book. And,
So does he wanna move?
And how many
this-
rods?
The
100.
stone?
100 rods east.
I mean-
so that's 160
Times it.
feet.
So in theory,
And just so you guys, if you're not familiar with what they did, you know, so here's the river, and here's the road coming down, and the bridge used to be here, and when they replaced it and put the new bridge in, they built the bridge here so that you could keep going.
Right.
And then they tore that one down.
Yeah.
So this is east of the existing bridge. When they replaced that one with the one that's there now, they just shut
They
the road
closed
down
it,
for
yeah.
3 years.
I know.
Yeah,
So it's.
That was my bicycle route. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
So-
do a 25-mile
so it's
ride.
just interesting. And part of the reason it was, I don't know why it came up with Fred, but it's come up with, when they were asking about the Cottage Road. Oh, that might have been the question. I had asked Nancy if Fred knew if the area around the stone is where the town area is
Yeah.
around on Cottage Road. And I think he got looking and he started, because, he used to do this planning stuff for Malden. And he got, like we all do, you start opening the book, you get sucked in.
Yeah.
So that's what he was telling me, so I just thought it was very
Yeah.
interesting. And he said he thinks that the reason, because it was put in the 1930 something, the stone was
placed.
dedicated.
Yeah.
That Marston's was still there, the big
Yeah.
place. And he figured that maybe because of where it was, they couldn't put anything there.
oh,
And
they
yeah,
picked,
yeah, yeah,
they
So,
picked another spot.
They just went to the next possible end of a road,
Yeah.
which is Cottage.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting. So I'm like, so we're gonna move it
Well,
Move it
I
to
mean-
where?
where it should be.
Where-
Well,
Yeah,
where
we
it should
gotta
be
have,
is
we
private
gotta have,
property.
yeah, we gotta have an easement on the property to be able to
Picky,
place
picky,
it.
picky.
I mean, it might be neat to, like, if you can confirm for sure that that's where it was, and maybe just some sort of marker. It doesn't
So-
have to be like move the stone, but like actual.
Yeah.
I would say the old bridge is probably not more than about, 50 to 70 feet this side of where the bridge is now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that. And then another
100 rods.
160
I
feet.
mean, what's a rod in theory, really?
So another 160 feet. What's a rod?
160 feet.
A rod is not 160 feet.
No.
That's what I
Oh,
mean,
the
like, how much is a
100
rod?
rods,
though?
yeah.
Like, is a
100
rod
rods,
3 feet? Is it?
Sorry, the 100 rods
So
is
16
160
feet.
feet.
No, that doesn't work.
Okay.
either.
That doesn't either. But I can't remember, I wrote it down somewhere, but when I
Well,
was,
whatever,
when I'm
yeah.
looking at deeds and they're talking about rods.
Yeah.
So it's on the order of 200 feet down, which is interesting, because that's, if you go up that, there's a hill going up there
Yeah.
along to the waterfront homes there, up the top of that hill, and then it turns and goes inland a little bit more, and the houses are between that and the river. That's just about how far in that would be, about, if
Yeah.
you went in about 200 to 300 feet.
It's just really funny that it's been there all this time and nobody seemed to really go, that's
Is this
not in the-
even right?
That's not in
Yeah.
the right place.
Hilarious.
So,
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it.
we discussed it.
I mean, they knew where the green was. They
Yeah.
knew where the homes were gonna be.
A
They
rod.
were surrounding the green. And why would they land down there and haul all of their stuff a quarter of a mile up the
Agreed.
stream bank when they could just?
A
roll it
rod
up?
is 5.5 yards.
Oh, interesting. That's
So
pretty
how
big.
many feet is that?
Well, it's
550.
No,
Yeah.
not 550,
No, yards.
5.5 yards.
So a
So,
yard's 3
A
feet.
yard is 3 feet, so it's 15,
Yeah.
15, 17 and a half
That's an interesting
feet.
way to measure.
Cool.
Yeah. I know. I mean, weird.
Hey, we don't do metric in this country. It's the only,
Yeah.
like practically the only country in the world,
You
so.
do if you're doing tools.
Okay, so we'll keep moving. So the next thing up is the planning board. I talked to the town planner and the assistant town planner. I handed out that's what this double-sided
Yep.
thing is, this thing. Because this is the implementation plan through 2035, I believe it's supposed to go through. And I also printed out information here, just so everybody will know. because I watched the planning board meeting from, was it Wednesday? Well, it was just, they just had one. And so May 24th, they're having the public comment period opens. And June 12th, they're having public meeting to introduce the plan. And they're also, because they're also going to have a another survey of people who, you know, to say, you know, what do you think
Input?
about this? Is this following? Because we did have a survey, we did do a survey before, because I remember taking it in town hall. And June 19th, they're closing the comment period. And then the 21st, they're having the first planning board meeting about it. And then second meeting is going to be July 5th, and July 9th is the third meeting if it's needed. So they're taking the public comments, the public information, and then mushing it back into or changing or not changing, whatever the case may be, on the master plan. And then they're having their meetings that are on video, you know, that you can zoom in and to decide so it can be finished finally. So this sheet, which is exceedingly ugly, and I apologize, but that's the way it is. These are the comments that I made, and I discussed the whole section of our historic and cultural with both the town planner and assistant town planner, and we spent 2 hours going over every single thing. And then this is the priorities and the resources and things. And then I also pointed out things. There's 2 pages if you look at what I sent you guys. There's 2 sets of this double-sided thing, and everything it was only short on the last page, has nothing to do with the Historical Commission. It's because it's historic and cultural resources, but some things that do not pertain to us, like compile inventory of all the roads. That's not us, that's the planning director. So I X'd out all the things that we're not responsible for and filled in where I could fill in for priorities and where the resources would come from, just so you guys know what's coming.
And what is a neighborhood conservation district?
It's-
H3.
Yeah, I was stumped by that.
Because there's conservation districts, there's local historic districts, there's architectural districts, there's so many different kinds of districts you can create, which people don't seem to really be aware of.
Yeah.
All they're aware of is a local historic district.
Right.
So, but I mean, if you look like on Ipswich's town website, they've got like 5 different kinds of districts.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I would sense that this isn't any kind of an official district, a neighborhood conservation district. I would uncapitalize it and maybe put it in quotes. Because they're making it sound
It's
like
too late.
that's an official thing you could do with your whatever, your area.
But-
You can't make it into a neighborhood conservation district
Yes.
because they don't exist.
well, how do you know they don't exist?
Well, I've never heard of them.
Well, that doesn't mean
I've heard of
anything.
conservation districts.
But it's like, instead of the word local, they're using neighborhood.
That's what I mean. So,
So, because
so it
that's,
shouldn't be capitalized.
But
If they
that's-
said local, I'd say capitalize it. Because there are local historic districts.
no, this is a
Conservation
neighborhood
district.
conservation district,
I know.
which is similar to a local historic district, but not
So
the
you think
same.
that exists?
Yeah, they
You could actually
exist.
make one called a neighborhood conservation
Yeah.
district? Okay.
So like,
But then no
say
problem.
like all the open space
Yeah,
in certain areas, like right behind the screen, the schoolhouse.
yeah.
That whole area is part of a neighborhood, and it's got conservation restriction on it. So it can be done.
Okay.
And I think a lot of the different types depend on the vibe from maybe like where it is, like, is it a business district, so they can do different things there because that's more governmental, that they have more control, than as opposed to a housing area that they want to make a neighborhood district. So there, and there's all different rules and regulations that go with, that have been created over the years with these different areas. So there's not a cut and dried, only this way can be, that means anything, like to Mass Historical or to the National History or conservation map, you know, there's so many different groups that I think that they have different types depending on what's needed in the area. So they're talking about this, the lower green, upper green, and you'll notice that they're all under the planning board, not us.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then we don't have to worry about it.
Hence why I have little X's.
Yeah, good.
And then
Moving
there
on.
was also a discussion about the cemeteries. So, all about the preservation of historic cemeteries and the possible creation of a historic commission subcommittee. And I could hear Channing bleeding just saying that. So I did make, and I think I gave you this.
Yeah.
I
A list
did.
of them here somewhere.
Yeah, there's a
Yep.
list of them, just in
Here
case,
it is.
if you've never had to, you never needed to know it before, or you're unaware of them, if you're like some of us that haven't been here for 75 years. This is off the town website, under the town clerk's office. And the very first thing on the left-hand side is what's been preserved already and digitized. So you can go in and look at them. The next thing is, I went on the assessors website and to look and see what it had for cemeteries listed in the town. And that's what that second page is. It says click on headings and stuff. That's the town website. And then because I think it was, is it Madison Bloss is on your committee? She was asking
yeah.
about who owned or who's in charge of.
Yeah.
So off the, again, off the
Mhm.
town website,
Yeah,
but I printed the property pages, they're underneath. And the Evergreen Cemetery is in care of Bill Plummer, Ash Street in West Newbury. He's the caretaker.
oh, he's the caretaker, but who's the owner?
Well,
Oh, okay.
yeah, see, this is the one that she was asking if they wanted to do anything, who do you talk to?
Yeah,
So that's who it is. But see,
Oh.
the only one the town owns, is the Sons and the First Settlers. That's the only one we own. We do not own the church ones, because they're owned by the church.
Right.
And there's two of them.
And what happens
and the
when
First
church
Settlers is the
goes down for the
238.
count here?
I'm sorry?
And the First Settlers is 238 High Road.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
because does that mean, like, I guess I've never seen anybody from my church take care of the cemeteries. Makes you wonder.
Yeah. So a lot of people, a lot of them have, I mean, you know, when you had to buy, you bought a plot, you had to pay something, it's something like, it was like $1 for perpetual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's up to the cemetery, but who's running the cemetery and who, you know, but we don't own them. So one of the things was they wanted to know if we could, you know, develop a plan to preserve them, you know, but they're not publicly ours,
Yeah.
so we can't.
We can't do anything.
No, but we could reach out and say, if you know, if you need to get information on preservation of them, we can get that information, which,
Well, who owns the Byfield Cemetery?
part of it's in Byfield and part of it's in Georgetown,
Uh-huh.
but they're not owned by the town, and this is the part that's very confusing to people, because it's something you never think about.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cemetery too when you go in there, because that's where the people that built my house, their plot is.
And
It's
at
really
one
nice.
point, Don Jarvis got a whole group together and they cleaned up the two up here.
Yeah.
And they cleaned up, I think they did a lot of work at the Byfield Cemetery also, but people don't realize that we don't own these cemeteries. And, I mean, the Catholic cemetery, there's only one Catholic cemetery in this area. And it's St. Mary's, and it's off Story Ave, and it's owned by, that piece of it is really owned by the church.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't even, you know,
You don't think of it.
unless you need to, you know, you go, oh,
You don't go
I
to
wonder
them.
who takes care of that one, or who's,
Yeah.
people don't think that they're
You
not
notice them when
owned
they're
by the town.
when they're not taken care of. That's the only time you notice them,
Yeah.
when they're all like.
So if you look at this list that I gave you, and you can look at the, on the website in the town, the next to last one is that Newbury Neck one, which is right over the other side of the bridge.
Yeah,
if you
I've
go
seen
in.
that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and we do have lists of all the people that are buried there.
We have lists of Evergreen as well.
Yep, we have
At the
all the lists in the
schoolhouse, yeah.
town, yeah.
And we don't know who owns that one though yet, because that wasn't listed
Newbury
in
Neck?
here. Yeah, Newbury Neck.
No, see, that's the thing. It's like, they don't show up. I tried.
I mean,
trust me.
is it possibly a family plot, a private?
Well, it was, see, that's the thing, it was a private, a lot of them were private plots.
Yep.
And they were just the local one, and then the local people took care of it, it was part of somebody else's land, but, you know, we've
Just
we've
becomes like
gone,
common land after.
You
And I would
know,
guess it started when
generations.
there was a ferry
Yeah.
and not a bridge,
so
and it was hard to
it's
get
very
across.
difficult to,
Buried them on that.
you'd have to like really dig in to look and go to the, you know, because you'd have to go to the registry of deeds and try looking back and see who's, you know, who's got what, but none of them have codes. Makes it a little.
It would be a good job for an intern in the summer,
We have
some
lots
high
of
school
jobs for
kid.
interns. We need to
Say,
find an intern.
here's the information we want on,
Okay,
identify all the
let's talk about this
cemeteries.
stuff all night
who
long, but I
owns
do
them.
have to pick up my kids.
Yeah.
So what, is there anything else?
So that takes care of that.
That's cool.
I did the Fred thing.
job.
I'm just gonna write some.
Comment on the
Put it in
plan.
there. Master plan,
We need to,
updates. Do
Review
you
that
have any
someday.
updates on the
Yeah.
local historic district?
no, we haven't met again. Have we? Did we?
I don't
did
know.
we meet
Have you met
again?
again?
You
Tell
don't,
us.
you don't give us any information, but we'll talk a little.
Okay.
Schoolhouse,
Roof
We
alarm
need to
updates,
make a
cleaning.
date.
Yeah.
pull out the old
Should we in
calendars.
theory do this before
We
we
can
open, or should we just open that morning? No, that's too much work.
No, no.
No, we usually go in and just do it. Remember, we did it before.
No, I know, but we have that thing that's, you know,
What is the
On the
first
3rd.
weekend we're gonna be there? We're gonna be before Memorial Day? Because it's a couple, when is Memorial Day's June 1st?
is Memorial Day is the 29th.
Oh, of what?
May.
May, dude. It's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
1, 2.
You're right. There we go. That's okay. Well, so that was the question.
Yes.
Because it's the day after Saturday and Sunday. Are we gonna open it up the next weekend? In other words,
Or we're gonna
on
open it
the
up
third?
I think we should
Memorial
open
Day
it.
weekend.
We always open Memorial
Yeah.
Day weekend.
So
Okay.
should we,
So that would be the 27th and the 28th,
We need to
right?
clean it up
we need to
before
clean it
that.
before then?
Yeah, so that doesn't leave us a lot of time, like next week.
You wanna do it
Yeah.
during the week, or you wanna do it on the weekend?
Well, I'm not available for the weekend, so during
Oh.
the week works better for me.
yeah.
Okay.
I can, for the most part, I don't know what's going on work-wise, but I can probably do it during the week, next week.
So what's better for like, you have a lot of, probably activity things going on, kids going back and
Well,
forth and stuff.
the afternoons are more hard for me because I'm driving like kids around for stupidity. No offense to my kids. But like, so if we wanted to do like midday, like pick a noon or something one day, I could go over there and spend 2 hours, no problem.
Okay,
but-
so like, if we went over, say, 11 to 1 or
Yeah,
something?
I could do
at
that, no
least-
problem.
Okay.
Because that's like, I could be there until like 2:45 because then I have to go pick up my kids at 3.
Okay. So,
Wednesday.
Yeah, we want to do the 17th?
Oh,
Is that good?
hang on, because that's the only day I have something. I've got something
Murphy's Law.
from, that's only from 10 till 11.
Alright.
okay. So then you can
Schoolhouse.
scurry across the
It's
street.
a debrief we're doing on what we did in Newburyport for Earth Day.
So,
And it's a Zoom, so I'll be at home and I just walk across the street when it's over.
All right, cool. So 11
Wednesday at 11?
works for me.
Okay.
Save.
and then we need, was it you that told me at one point that we had it in a meeting, I think, you said you found a calendar thing that we could use out, so that everybody.
Oh, so we can actually.
Oh,
like an
yeah.
app
We need
thing
to
or
do that
I
something?
did
this
find
year.
a calendar app. I thought I sent you a link, but I'll check on it.
We should do that so we don't double dip again this year.
Yeah.
We were double dipping so much last year.
I showed
So
up,
if
I
you-
showed up twice when there was somebody there.
If
Me
you
too.
can- If you can try to find
Is
that,
it
that
you?
would be
Everybody
great.
both done? Okay.
So what did we say for the 17th, 1 o'clock?
11 to 1.
Early, yeah. I have until, like I said, almost 3, so I can hang out.
And I'll check with Jerry on water.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll say okay.
Yeah, as long as we have a hose and an outlet,
Yeah.
we'll be good to go.
Well, just, if he hasn't opened the house up though for the air, it might be turned off in the basement.
Good point.
I remember
I've
doing
seen it there a
that.
couple of times, though, so I'm sure.
Okay, so that's good. So I will let the other two know. We know Jenny won't make it at that time of the day.
Oh, and I was gonna put the flags up this weekend, no reason not to,
Yeah,
No reason not to?
Yeah.
because we got the lights are
Okay,
up.
so
Please,
schoolhouse
yeah.
cleaning, 11 to 1 on the May 17th. So, I mean, we're just really, we all take a side, this
No, it'll be fast.
so we'll just
Hustle
We
bring
left it
stuff.
pretty clean, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it just gets dusty and stuff. We
Yeah.
gotta,
Cobwebs.
I gotta look and see if the
We
kids
gotta
really need
unpack
to
all the
have,
books and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, unpack stuff and just dust and tidy and whatever, so,
While we're there cleaning, think about things we might want to buy
Yeah.
or
okay, so.
replace.
Well,
or-
I really like that BMW i4. That's,
yeah. With our budget, we can get a little plastic.
I was gonna say a matchbox.
all electric 500.
Not even,
Anything else
not
you
even a
get?
tin stamp one, like that.
While the boys,
That's
while the
good.
boys'
That's an
bedroom,
antique.
come up
I
BMWs.
lost them, it's okay.
Plastic.
So I think, other than if we had any updates on old business, but I don't
I
think
don't
that.
think we do.
No, I think we're good. For this week, we can talk about old business another time.
Okay, so I guess, tick, 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 everything's ticked.
Right. So then I say
You would entertain a motion to?
adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Fabulous.
second.
I love that.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8:15.